Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. In this video we are gonna see, what if Naruto died and sent to the My Little Pony universe with Harem? Part 1. Huge shout out to Hussbek for this story. If you want more awesome fan fiction like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So without wasting any time, let's get into the video. On a stormy day, at a waterfall with two tall statues facing each other at opposite ends. Two boys face off at both ends of the waterfall. On the left was Sasuke Uchiha, the last of the Uchiha and wielder of the Sharingan. His clan was killed by his elder brother and swore to avenge his clan by killing his brother. He was a member of Squad 7 in the Hidden Leaf village until he defected from the village to join Orochimaru, a rogue ninja, in order to gain power upon receiving the curse mark. But is currently obstructed by his teammate. On the right was Naruto Uzumaki, the pariah of the village, and the Jinchuriki of the Nine-Tailed Fox. The fourth Hokage sealed the nine-tailed fox in him when it attacked the village. Since then people saw him as the fox reincarnate and mistreated him. Hence Naruto decided to become Hokage so as to gain recognition from the villagers. He was also a member of Squad 7 and is currently attempting to stop Sasuke from abandoning the village. There is no way you are going to beat me, dope. I will get the power to kill my brother and you are not going to stop me. Shouted Sasuke in his cursed state level 2 while preparing his Chidori. I won't let you got to Orochimaru, Sasuke. Even if I have to drag you back to the village beaten to an inch of your life. I will keep my promise to Sakura-chan no matter what, believe it. Shouted Naruto in his tailed beast cloak, channeling chakra to his right hand to form a Rasengan. After preparing their most powerful techniques, both boys leapt into the air and clashed their attacks. However, Sasuke's Chidori grazed past and slammed into Naruto's heart, while Naruto's Rasengan slammed into Sasuke and sent him crashing into the cliff wall and knocked him out. As Naruto lay on the ground dying, he thought, looks like I won't become Hokage after all, but at least I kept my promise to Sakura-chan. He smiled with satisfaction before closing his eyes, and his breathing stopped. It was on that day, a ninja by the name Naruto Uzumaki died in order to bring back his teammate. When Naruto opened his eyes, he was in a dark sewer standing before a large gate with a paper with word written seal on it. Behind the gate lay the nine-tailed fox. Why are you here? I am supposed to be dead and you are to be gone. Said Naruto with a confused look on his face. I was thinking the very same thing, brat, but I sense another presence coming here, said the fox, who was confused as well. That was because I brought both of you here, a voice spoke up. Both of them turned to see a woman appear in a flash of white light. She wore a pure white kimono with white hair and glowing eyes. Her presence just emitted power that dwarfs even that of the nine-tailed fox and demanded no opposition. Who are you? Asked Naruto with a slight fear in his voice. I am who you mortals call Kami-sama, said the goddess with a smile on her face. Why are you here? Are you here for our souls? Naruto asked in confusion. She shook her head and said, not exactly, I came here for something else, but first I want to know what you would want me to do with the nine-tailed fox's soul. Naruto thought for a while before saying, if anything, I want you to send the fox back to the Makai world. This earned a surprised look from both the fox and the goddess, as both thought that he would want the fox's soul to be destroyed. Why do you request that? I thought you hated me and want to be rid of me? Asked a fox, with the goddess wondering the same thing. I studied at the library and noticed that there were no records of other attacks, and so I came to the conclusion that you were controlled to attack the village and that it wasn't your fault. I also found out that the fourth Hokage was my father, as he wouldn't sacrifice another parent's child for the sealing, and I already forgave him, but I couldn't find out about my mother, though, said Naruto sadly. Your mother was Kushina Uzumaki, who was from the village of Whirlpool, said the goddess. Thanks for telling me, said Naruto happily. As they were talking, there was flash of bright light, and when it faded, it revealed a sea blue broadsword with an outward motif for the guard, and in the center is a white swirling energy hovering in the air, referred to Thunder Edge from Akami. As Naruto looked in wonder, the sword floated towards him and began to glow as if to gesture for him to take it. When Naruto took it, he felt chakra flow through him, and it felt warm within him. But that sword that be, I thought it was only a myth. The fox exclaimed with shock. What do you mean? Asked Naruto with curiosity. Ami explained, that sword is known as the Kasei no Ha. It is a sword that came into existence by itself and emits pure energy. No one was able to wield it, including myself, but it seems to accept you due to your pure heart. You truly are a phenomenon. Thank you for choosing me, said Naruto, to which the sword glowed as if happy. Then the goddess spoke, the reason I am here is to give you a second chance, but it will be in another world where you can live a new life. I accept the offer, and I promise to not disappoint you and protect my new precious people, believe it. Said Naruto with a foxy grin. Hey kid, I wish to grant a gift to you as a sign of gratitude and apology for everything, said the fox. What kind of gift is it? Asked Naruto. I will unlock your bloodline limit that you inherited from your mother, which is the Chakura no Sosuke Jutsu, that is the ability to manipulate chakra into any form, and I will also grant you my chakra even when I am gone. Thanks for everything, but before you leave, could you tell me your name? Asked Naruto. Fox looked surprised before smiling and saying, my name is Kurama. Okay Kurama, maybe one day we would meet again. Kurama nodded at Naruto before disappearing to the Makai world, leaving him with Kami. Well then, now I will send you off, and you should know that in that dimension, you will be in a different form, and there are dark forces that require you to aid others to defeat said Kami. Okay, goodbye and thank you for everything, said Naruto before disappearing as well. I will be watching over you Naruto Uzumaki, said the goddess with a smile on her face. When he opened his eyes, Naruto noticed that he was in a cave with crystals embedded in the walls that glow brightly with energy that feels foreign to him. Speaking of which, he noticed that he felt that he couldn't feel his fingers or toes for that matter. When he tried to stand, he rather stood on all four legs instead of two. Okay, this feels weird, said Naruto trying not to freak out, but when he looked at a crystal that reflected at him. Well, let's just say that people are lucky not to be near him, for they would have gone deaf from his screaming. What happened to me? Yelled Naruto, panicking all over place while tumbling around. After 10 minutes of senseless screaming did he finally calm down, then he remembered what Kami told him earlier before. Hold on, Kami-sama did mention that I would be in a different form when I come into this dimension, said Naruto. Well then, I'd better learn how to move in this new body of mine. He attempted to walk by emulating how the horses from his dimension walked, soon he became more proficient in walking, trotting and galloping. Afterwards Naruto went to one of the biggest crystals to add his reflection. His current form is of a pony with an orange coat, he retains whisker marks on his cheeks, has a yellow spiky mane, a horn on his forehead with a shape like the tip of a katana and bushy tail like that of a fox. It feels weird to have tail, I wonder how to use it, pondered Naruto. He tried waving it around, and the tail responded accordingly to his commands. He even began using it to pick up rocks laying around the cave floor without dropping them, and could even throw with pinpoint accuracy. Whoa, I could get used to this, he thought with glee. Okay, I got the hang of moving around in this form, now let's see if I can access my chakra and find out my upgraded bloodline, thought Naruto. He sat on his rump, closed his eyes and began to meditate. As he searched within himself, he began to feel a sensation similar to when he normally gathers his chakra, but feels much easier to interact with. The sensation got stronger and Naruto let flow through him, and soon his body began to emit white chakra that represents the purity of his soul. When he opened his eyes, Naruto saw that his body is covered with a white cloak of chakra and it made him feel stronger and enhanced his senses. Wow, this must be the chakra that Kurama gave to me, let's see about my bloodline, said Naruto. Naruto began to concentrate on his chakra and willed it to form arms, it took several tries, but he successfully created the arms. He then tried to use them to pick up the rock and was able to even lift boulders, but noticed that the more arms he creates or the heavier the object, the more chakra he requires. Let's see, I wonder if I can channel chakra to different parts of my body, thought Naruto. He approached a boulder and sent chakra to one of his front hooves and punched the boulder, which broke into small pieces. Naruto looked surprised for a minute, then he began to laugh out loud. Ahaha, if Bachan saw this, she would be so shocked, said Naruto happily. Now let's see what's outside this cave. When Naruto reached the entrance of the cave, he was amazed by the scenery of the land, as the atmosphere is serene and calm. Naruto wanted to explore the place, but his ninja instincts told him not to go just yet, as he is not yet used to his new body, and so he returned to the cave. Now that I think about it, where is the Kasei no Ha? Naruto wondered aloud. No sooner he said that than the glaive appeared on his back, glowing as if happy to be called upon. Now how do I use you to fight? Thought Naruto. The glaive glowed brightly and information flowed into his head. He tried to will the glaive to swing left and it flew off his back and swung at its imaginary target before returning to his back. Wow, now that is epic, said Naruto with excitement. Soon he began to practice with the sword until he was familiar with it. I think I need to train before going to any town to gain information about where I am. I'm skipped 2 weeks. After training in the cave, Naruto became attuned to his body, bloodline and wielding the glaive. For his pony form, he developed a form of freerunning, parkour, with techniques like wall running, sliding, flips and spins, fleetfoot from Akami, and applying chakra improves his mobility. He also created his own taijutsu he named Piñado, which he adopted the principle from Rock Lee's taijutsu. With his chakra, he created many variations to adapt to any kind of situation like arms, tendrils, claws etc. He was also able to create his own tailed beast cloak, which goes well with his Piñado, and is still learning to create more variations. With the Kasei no Ha, Naruto mastered it to a level that he be ranked as sword master in his own right. He also discovered that it could transform into different weapons during his time in the cave. He also collected a majority of the crystals and put them in a satchel he made from the fur of dead animals in the forest and found a cloak as well. During his training, Naruto's mane grew longer and his tail grew in length due to his constant use. "Okay, now I am all set, it's time to see what this world has in store for me," said Naruto as he got himself ready to leave. When Naruto stood outside the cave, he took in a deep breath and shouted out, "Look out world, Naruto Uzumaki the pony ninja is coming, believe it," before sending chakra to his feet and dashing into the distance. In the middle of the day, a figure is seen running along the road leaving behind a trail of dust. A closer look reveals none other than our favorite ninja, Naruto Uzumaki. He had been running since he left the cave where he woke, feeling the wind in his face. "This is getting boring," thought Naruto with a dull look on his face. "Let's go through the forest and keep my freerunning skills sharpened." With that thought in mind, Naruto dived into the forest and began vaulting over trees and rocks. Applying his old ninja training, Naruto was jumping through trees and sliding under tree trunks. He created new technique where he applies chakra to his feet to slightly repel against the ground to slide without losing speed, which he named the Terra Drift, like Sonic Drift in Sonic Unleashed, which he also used on walls as well. He kept on going until a ravine came into view, smiling at a crazy idea. Naruto applied more chakra to his feet and leapt across it. At the arc of his jump, Naruto released chakra at the bottom of his feet to form a blue rune, like a magic circle, and kicked off it to get higher and further. Upon landing on the other side of the ravine, Naruto smiled at the creation of his new technique and named it Pegasus Dash, like Dante's trickster style on Devil May Cry 3, before continuing on. After an hour of running, Naruto stopped at the top of a hill, which displayed a view of a town before him. "Wow, this looks like a place I wouldn't think twice of staying in, after it makes me feel close to nature, and I feel that I will have a lot of adventures and memories here," thought Naruto with happiness. Naruto folded his cloak into his satchel and had his glaive sealed within himself. As Naruto walked into town, he saw a sign written "Welcome to Ponyville" and thought, "Okay Ponyville, surprise me with what you have. Like the saying goes, ask and you shall receive." "Hi." A voice came out from behind, making Naruto jump 8 feet into the air before landing on his rump, before turning around to see a mare with a pink coat and a lighter shade of pink for her mane and hair, and has a mark of 3 balloons with curled strings on her flank. "My name is Pinkie Pie, and I can tell that you are new around as I know every pony in Ponyville, which means I have to throw a party for you, so you have to come," said the pink mare, who was excited at meeting a new pony. "Wow, and here I thought I was a hyper person, or should I say pony now?" thought Naruto while sweat dropping before getting up. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and you're right that I am new around here, so can you tell me about this place?" said Naruto with a smile. Pinkie Pie began hopping with happiness before telling him, "There are lots of amazing things in Ponyville that I prefer that you discover it for yourself. Well, prepare for your welcome to Ponyville party." Before Naruto could say anything, Pinkie Pie already ran off, leaving behind a trail of dust to who knows where. Naruto stood there stunned for a minute before he started to laugh. "That hyper personality of hers makes her kind of cute. Wait, where did that come from?" thought Naruto before shrugging and moving on. Naruto was trotting along the road when he heard a voice from above his head, "Look out below." No sooner he raised his head than a blue blur crashed into him. When the dust cleared, it revealed Naruto sprawled out on the ground and a blue mare right on top of him. "Oh, sorry about that, and thanks for the soft landing," said the mare. Naruto got up and then took a closer look at the mare. She is a Pegasus with a coat of cyan and a rainbow-like mane and tail. She has a mark of a cloud with a slightly curved 3-colored lightning bolts. "No problem after all, any landing you can walk away from is a good one, although it's at my expense. By the way, my name is Naruto Uzumaki, what's yours?" said Naruto. "My name is Rainbow Dash, the fastest pony in all of Ponyville," said the mare with a lot of pride in her voice. "Oh really? For some reason I don't feel convinced," said Naruto with a smirk on his face. He could tell that Rainbow Dash had a competitive nature and want to have some fun. "Ooh, sounds like I have a challenger for my title," said Rainbow with a grin. "Okay then, we'll start from here, and the finishing line will be at the town square. Okay, you're on," said Naruto, already liking her zeal being similar to his own. As they took their positions, Rainbow counted down, "On your marks. Get set. Go." The 2 ponies were off. Rainbow Dash was surprised at Naruto's ability to keep up with her as they blazed through the road. Naruto was using his freerunning skills at half cause. He could tell that Rainbow wasn't going all out. They were both neck and neck as they drew close to the finish before a cart came out nowhere. Naruto had to jump to avoid it, which reduced his and gave Rainbow Dash the win. "Ah, I win and successfully defended my title," said Rainbow Dash with a grin on her face. "Hey, no way. That cart slowed me down and gave you the lead since you were flying," Naruto pouted, which Rainbow laughed at. "Okay then, how about a rematch the next time we meet? I have to take care of the weather, so catch you later," said the Pegasus before flying off. But the pony like her like around, it's never a dull moment. I am pretty sure she would be a great pranking partner, thought Naruto with glee before continuing on his way. Continuing along the road, Naruto was enjoying the scenery when he came across a blue jay that was hopping on the ground. Wondering why it wasn't flying, Naruto approached with caution so as not to scare it away. "Here there, little one, is there something wrong?" said Naruto in a gentle tone. The bird looked at him for a while, deciding to trust him, show its wing that was bruised. "Well then, if there is a place you can go to get it patched up, how about I carry you there?" suggested Naruto, to which the blue jay nodded happily. Naruto lowered his head for the blue jay to hop on, who found his spiky mane to be comfortable to sit on. "Since I am new around here, you will need to direct me to the place, if that is okay with you," said Naruto, which the blue jay tweeted in confirmation. As they went along the road, Naruto decided to name the bird Ao, which meant blue. After being explained to about the meaning, it immediately liked its new name. Soon they reached a house which was situated near a forest that gives Naruto a sense of mystery and danger. Naruto knocked on the door, which opened to reveal a mare. She is a Pegasus with coat of yellow with a pinkish mane and tail. She has a mark of 3 pink butterflies on her flank. "Hello, how can I help you?" said the mare in a timid tone. "She reminds me of Hinata with the way she acts," thought Naruto. "I came with this blue jay who had a bruised wing, and it seems to me that you take care of injured animals, right?" "Yes, so please bring her in so I may treat her," said the mare, opening the door wider for Naruto to enter. "Okay then," said Naruto. "Wait a minute, how's she?" In a few minutes' time, the mare, whom introduced herself as Fluttershy, had bandaged Ao's wing. In the meantime, the animals that were at Fluttershy's home were playing with Naruto, with smaller one swinging from his tail, while the bird settled on his mane, much to the envy of Ao. Naruto didn't mind at all, as he is also having fun playing with them. Fluttershy watched from a distance, too shy to approach the blonde pony until he called out to her. "Hey Fluttershy, come and join in on the fun," said Naruto before using his tail lift the shy Pegasus from the ground and bringing her over to play within the animals. When she felt Naruto's wrap around her, it felt fluffy and soothing, which calmed her down and made her less shy. After an hour of playing, Naruto told Fluttershy and the others that he had to go, which made them sad. "Don't be sad, I promised to come back and visit." When Naruto Uzumaki makes a promise, he always keeps it, believe it, said Naruto with a foxy grin. Hearing this cheered them up and made them look forward to his next visit. "I hope to visit Fluttershy soon, as it's difficult to leave her alone and she is kinda cute that way," thought Naruto. Trotting through town, Naruto looked at the buildings until he came upon one that caught his interest. "It looks very colorful, to say the least. It makes me wonder what the inside is like," thought Naruto. With curiosity getting the better of him, Naruto entered only to realize that it is a clothing store. "That's what I think." As he wandered around, he came across a mare who seems to be focused on a dress. She is a unicorn with a coat of white and indigo mane and tail. She has a mark of 3 diamonds on her flank. "Excuse me," Naruto began before he was interrupted. "Hush now, I'm in the middle of a breakthrough," said the mare, who had her undivided attention on the dress while writing something on a notepad which was floating in the air, which got him curious at what it is. After she finished, she turned to talk to Naruto. "Hello, my name is Rarity. What might your name be, dear sir?" "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I just came into town to find a place to stay." "You can go to our mayor for accommodation as well." As Rarity spoke, but soon had a stunned look on her face. Naruto wondered why she had that look, but didn't have to wait long as she moved to his tail and began to cuddle it. "What an amazing specimen of a tail you have. How did you get it to be like this?" Naruto didn't answer as he was purring to her, cuddling, which enticed her to continue. "It took everything Naruto had to resist and snap out of it. Rarity could let go of my tail, it's sensitive," said Naruto while blushing. Rarity soon let go with a sheepish smile. "Sorry about that, I sort of got carried away. It's okay, thanks for telling me about the accommodation. By the way, I'll come around later to request for some clothing to be made," said Naruto before waving goodbye and leaving the shop. "She is very pretty, I'd like to visit her more often," thought Naruto. After visiting the mayor who gave him the key to the library to temporarily reside in before he gets a permanent home, Naruto decided to walk around a bit more before settling at the library. Walking along the road again, he came across a wooden gate with a picture of a red apple and decided to take a look around. Naruto was trotting past the entrance of a barn when he saw a mare that was trying to get a Stetson hat that was stuck in between 2 bales of hay. She is a pony with a coat of orange and a blonde mane and tail. She has a mark of 3 red apples on her flank. "I'm getting kind of curious of these marks these ponies have," thought Naruto before going and help the mare. "Hi, my name is Naruto Uzumaki and I was hoping to help you with your problem," said Naruto. "Howdy there, my name is Applejack and I've trying to get my hat out of there but can reach it," said the mare. "Allow me to try to get it out of there," said Naruto before using his tail to go through the gap and grab the hat, after which he put on Applejack's head. Applejack blushed at the contact with the blonde stallion before gathering her wits. Thanks for the help, I never thought of using my tail, but then again, it's not as long as yours, said Applejack. Don't mention, but it seems like you're going somewhere, said Naruto. Yeah, Big Mac and I are going to the Evertree Forest to gather firewood, said Applejack with slight fear in her voice. Mind if I come along, I'm sure it will be safer with a larger group, said Naruto, having noticed the fear in her voice. Are you sure? That place is kinda dangerous. All the more reason for me to help you and your brother, besides I'm pretty strong in my own right, said Naruto with a determined look. Okay then, come along and I'll introduce you to my brother, said Applejack, to which Naruto nodded. They out of the barn and into the yard to meet a large red stallion with a horse collar, who getting himself latched onto a cart. Naruto, this is my brother Big Macintosh, and Big Mac, this is Naruto, and he will be helping us to gather firewood. Hello, it's nice to meet, said Naruto with a smile. Yeah, Big Mac replied with a smile as well. Soon the three ponies set off for the Evertree Forest. Naruto was on guard by using his senses to detect any kind of hostile creatures which he had encountered on his way to Ponyville. After gathering a sufficient amount of firewood, they were about to leave when Naruto sensed a group of wolves emerge from the bushes with ill intent to the ponies. Applejack. You and Big Mac should get out of here while I hold them off. Shouted Naruto. No. We can't leave you behind, you could get yourself killed. Yelled Applejack, not wanting to leave the stallion behind. You need to protect Big Mac on the way back in case any wolves come after him, and don't worry, I've these guys before. Said Naruto. Applejack soon consented and led Big Mac out of the clearing. Making sure that they were gone, Naruto turned to the pack of wolves and grinned, which made them a bit nervous. Now that they are safe, said Naruto, taking a pouncing position, it's showtime. Before dashing towards them, Naruto launched a wolf into the air with an uppercut and followed after it, then executing a tail slam, sending it flying into another wolf. Upon landing, he quickly spun to the left, avoiding a claw from behind and using his tail to grab the tail of the wolf, performing a 360 spin on his front hooves, knocking the wolves back before slamming the grabbed wolf into the ground. Now for the climax. Naruto shouted out, before channeling chakra to his horn, making the energy to take shape of a much longer horn. Take this. Chikura Hansarasu. He called out and slashed at the wolves, leaving them in pieces. Hesho's over. Naruto smirked before going to meet up with Applejack and Big Mac. Upon setting eyes on Naruto, Applejack ran to him and began checking for injuries and was surprised to find none. I told you that I would be fine, but I am sorry if I worried you, said Naruto. Okay, I'll accept your apology if you come around help us buck apples, how's that? Said Applejack. Sure thing, I'll come around later. See ya, Applejack, you too, Big Mac, said Naruto before waving goodbye. It was now late and Naruto was heading to the library to turn in for the night. When he opened the door, surprise. He stood there stunned at the sight of the balloons, confetti, ponies that were waiting to surprise. Welcome to your party, Naruto. Said Pinkie Pie, who was there along with Rainbow Dash, Fluttershy who had Ow on her back, Rarity and Applejack. Naruto still stood there in surprise before he smiled. Thanks every pony. And I am happy to be here in Ponyville, said Naruto, and every pony cheered and the party commenced. It was full of fun and Naruto stuffed himself silly with snacks since he hadn't eaten throughout the day. After an hour of partying, every pony left for their homes and Naruto cleaned up the place with the help of Pinkie Pie and the others. When they left as well, Naruto went upstairs and settled himself in the bed and got ready to sleep. Wow, so this is my new life. I'm looking forward to the memories which I will make with the others, but I feel that should be ready for an incoming battle, Naruto thought, not knowing how right he was. Meanwhile on the moon, the silhouette of a mare begins to pulse in purple light before fading. As the sun rises over Ponyville, it shone its morning rays through the window of the library where Naruto Uzumaki sleeps. Damn, why must Celestia raise the sun now, he grumbled, pulling the sheets over his head to block out the sun in order to continue sleeping. It wasn't even 10 minutes when there was a tapping on the window. Unable to ignore the annoying sound, Naruto woke up to look at the window, only to see Ow the blue jay pecking at the window. Good morning, Ow, I see you came to wake me up as usual, chuckled Naruto after he opened the window, to which the bird nodded. Ever since they met on the first day, Ow had been hanging around Naruto and is often seen flying next to him or sitting on his head, which Naruto claims is her seat. Well, thanks for the daily wake-up call, Ow. Let's go around town and see if there is any pony who needs help like always, said Naruto. Ow tweeted in agreement. The two friends set off for the town after locking the library. It had been a week since Naruto first came to Ponyville. Since he didn't have any money to support himself, Naruto took up odd jobs like delivery, painting, babysitting, gardening, etc. Soon he was well known throughout the town as a very kind and helpful pony, but he always spends most of his time with Applejack and the others. Hey Ow, this might sound weird to you, but I have been having this feeling of foreboding, and it seems to have something to do with the summer sun celebration and the history of Equestria that I read about, said Naruto. Ao tilted her head in confusion and then tweeted as if to assure him that everything would be fine. Maybe I am just being paranoid, said Naruto, thinking back on what he read at the library 2 days ago. Flashback begin. In the hall of the library, Naruto was reading on the history of Equestria after going through the other books where he learned of the economy, politics and legends of the world he now lives in. What caught his interest was the existence of magic which seemed to replace chakra, and decided to learn about it since him as a unicorn can utilize it. As he read, Naruto learnt of the two royal Lalicorn sisters of Equestria, Princess Celestia who raises the sun and brings forth day, and Princess Luna who raises the moon and bring forth night. During the course of time, Princess Luna became jealous as she felt unappreciated for her duty and transformed into a corrupted pony known as Nightmare Moon. Seeing no way to stop her, Celestia had no choice but to use the elements of harmony to seal her sister in the moon, and since then took charge of raising the moon and the sun. It has been a long time since Celestia sealed her sister away, wouldn't it have grown weaker as the years gone by? This feeling seems to stem from that. Flashback end. Enough of the thinking, let's see if Rarity is done with the stuff I requested, said Naruto, shaking his head, slightly irritating Ao who was sitting at the current time. When Naruto reached the carousel boutique, he knocked on the door which opened to reveal a young filly. She has a coat of white with a pink mane and tail. Good morning Naruto, it's great to see you, said the filly happily. It's always great to see you too, sweetie Belle. I hope you aren't causing Rarity any kind of trouble, said Naruto with a knowing smile. The young unicorn flinched slightly. Not this time, I can tell you that. Naruto smiled and walked inside. He often looks after sweetie Belle whenever he comes and helps her out as well as keep her out of trouble, which she seems to always get into. Soon she saw as an elder brother. Hello Naruto, it's always good to see you dear, said Rarity with a smile. She liked having Naruto come around since she enjoys his company, and most of times they work together creating ideas for making new clothing for ponies. She was surprised at Naruto, as he didn't look like some pony with a fashion sense, but seemed to have ideas that she never thought of. Hi there Rare, I just came to see if you finished with my request, said Naruto with a foxy grin. Yes I have, just let me go and get them, said Rarity, before going to open a box and pull out a satchel and a black headband with the symbol of a leaf on both of them. Naruto gave it to her to give some finishing touches and requested for her to make a headband for him. When asked why, he said to remind me of my will of fire, which confused her. Here, let me put it on for you, said Rarity before using her magic to tie the headband onto his forehead. I must say that it looks good on you, I am sure you'll attract a lot of mares, giggled Rarity at Naruto who was blushing. Don't say that Rare. It's embarrassing. Anyway, I'll see you later, you too sweetie Belle, thanks for everything, said Naruto before leaving. While walking through the town, Naruto was admiring the handiwork that Rarity did to his satchel. Now I'll apply the seals in the interior to increase the space, as well as not weigh me down when I carry it. It's a good thing I convinced Hiro-Senin to teach me about seals when we went to find Bachan, thought Naruto. Ever since Naruto was introduced to the art of sealing, he discovered that he had a talent which he believed that he inherited from his parents. While deep in thought, Naruto heard a loud voice from behind him. Excuse me. Get out of the way. The voice yelled. Naruto quickly backflipped just in time to avoid a collision with a filly who was riding a scooter. She is a Pegasus pony with a coat of slightly dark orange and purple mane and tail. Although she was relieved to have avoided the pony ninja, she failed to notice a rock on the road which flung her into the air. Naruto quickly leapt after her and used his tail to catch her before landing on the ground. Geez Scootaloo, does this always have to happen whenever we meet up, said Naruto with a smirk at the young filly. Naruto met Scootaloo a few days ago in the exact situation. Naruto learnt that she is an admirer of Rainbow Dash and aspires to be like her. When he found out that she is also an orphan, he took upon himself to watch over her as he could relate, since he is also an orphan. He also began teaching her the lower levels of his free-running skills which she had a talent for. Soon he became her brother figure as well. Sorry about big bro, I somehow lost control of my scooter along the way, said Scootaloo rubbing the back of her head in embarrassment, a habit that she got from Naruto. No problem Scoots, tell you what, let's head over to the sugar cube corner and get something to eat, said Naruto. Okay big bro, race ya, said Scootaloo while zooming off on her scooter. Naruto chuckled softly before following after her. When they reached the sweet shop, Naruto had won their race. I'm impressed Scoots, for you to apply Terra Drift while on your scooter is a stroke of genius, said Naruto with a foxy grin. That's because I have a great teacher, said Scootaloo smiling brightly. When they entered the shop, Naruto had hardly taken a step when he was tackled to the ground by Pinkie Pie. Pioneru, I missed you, said Pinkie Pie. Naruto had been helping her out in the shop as well as planning out parties. He often has to properly name her parties, much to the relief of the other ponies that attend them. Naruto also has to keep himself on alert because of her Pinkie sense. Every time Pinkie's tail twitches, he has to get out of the way of falling objects ranging from flower pots to ponies, mostly Rainbow Dash. "Hey Pinks, Scoots and I came to get some snacks, you're welcome to join if you want," said Naruto. He barely finished talking when Pinkie Pie had already set up the snacks on the table and was waiting for him, surprising Naruto and Scootaloo. "What are you waiting for?" "They won't eat themselves," said Pinkie, enjoying the look on his face. She always likes to surprise him, often saying it livens up her day. After eating and saying goodbye to Pinkie Pie, Naruto also said goodbye to Scootaloo. When he turned to leave, he heard Scootaloo speak softly to herself. "Sometimes I wish you were my real big brother." He smiled inwardly and thought, I can do something about that, but in due time. Now where should I go next? Maybe Fluttershy's, thought Naruto, walking towards the edge of Evertree Forest. As he was walking, Naruto heard a voice from above. "Hey Naruto. Heads up." Instead of listening to the voice, Naruto quickly flipped backwards in time to avoid a shower of rain which fell at where he was standing. "Nice try, Ash. But it will take a lot than that to surprise me," said Naruto, smirking while looking up to see Rainbow Dash sitting on top of the cloud. He and Rainbow Dash have been competing in different challenges just to get one over the other, with both sides getting an equal number of wins, losses and draws. "True, but that's what makes me strive to get the jump on you," said Rainbow Dash, while descending from the cloud she was on. "Where you going anyway?" "I'm heading to Fluttershy's place to see if she needs any help for the summer sun celebration," said Naruto before suddenly grinning. "How about a race?" "Sure, I need a warm-up before I go and clear the clouds before tomorrow," said Rainbow Dash. Both got into a starting position before they took off, leaving behind a cloud of dust. By the time they reached Fluttershy's house, the result was Naruto winning. "Yeah, I won. That makes 125-124 with me leading by 1 point," said Naruto with pride, while Rainbow Dash pouted. "Well, it won't be like that for long, anyways, see you later." She then flew off to take care of the weather. "She acts like that, but she having as much fun as I do," thought Naruto. He was about to knock the door when Ao flew over and began pecking his head, upset for being left behind. "Sorry about that, Ao, I'll make it up to you," Naruto apologized. Naruto knocked on the door, which opened to reveal Fluttershy. "Oh hello Naruto," said Fluttershy while trying to hide her blushing face with her mane. She has been enjoying Naruto's company as well as the animals, they always come around him wanting to play or just relax when he sleeps under a tree. Naruto speaks and encourages her to overcome her shortcomings, being by her side makes her more confident in herself, although she still acts shy around him. "Hello Shy, I came here to see if I could help you in preparation for the summer sun celebration," said Naruto, smiling brightly. He often comes to see Fluttershy and the animals, as he feels calm and relaxed when with them. "Yes, well, I am planning on teaching the birds some songs for when Princess Celestia appears. Could you watch over the others while I teach the birds?" said Fluttershy, with Naruto nodding his head in affirmation. After a couple hours and Fluttershy was done teaching for the day, Naruto bade farewell, promising to visit again soon. "I never seem to get why Shy blushes when she looks at me, but it doesn't bother me, it rather makes me happy," thought Naruto as he moved along. "My next stop would be at Sweet Apple Acres to help age 8 bucks some apples before meeting Mayor, thought Naruto before trotting towards his location. After walking through the gate and into the barnyard, Naruto felt some pony coming up from behind, but pretended to be unaware as the pony jumped onto his back. He turned to see Apple Bloom, the younger sister of Applejack. She is a filly with a coat of light grayish olive with a red mane and tail and a big pink bow. "Howdy Naruto, I was wondering when you would show up, big sis has been waiting for you," said the filly with a smile. She met Naruto when he was bucking apples with her sister. She was shy at first, but soon became friends and often rides on his back when she gets the opportunity, as well as swing from his fox-like tail. She also looks up to him other than Big Mac as a brother. "Hello Apple Bloom, I've been around town helping out, that's why I took so long. Let's not keep your sister waiting any longer," said Naruto, returning the smile before trotting out of the barnyard and to the apple fields with Apple Bloom enjoying the ride. Reaching there, he saw Applejack kicking the tree and knocking down the apples with Big Mac carrying baskets full of them. "PAJ. You too Big Mac, sorry for taking so long, I had to help the other ponies in town before getting here," said Naruto, while setting Apple Bloom down with his tail, which she seems to enjoy. "Howdy there Naruto, well better late than never since we're in charge of the catering for the summer sun celebration," said Applejack, grinning at the blonde stallion. Naruto often helps her with the bucking of the apples, as well as selling them at the stall. Although both of get embarrassed when Granny Smith frequently tries to convince them to get married. Aside from that, she like being around him. "Sure thing, let's get started," said Naruto, approaching a tree to knock down some apples from. After a few hours of apple bucking and having lunch with the Apple family, Naruto set off for the mayor's office to discuss something with her. "Good afternoon Mayor, there's something I wish to talk to you about," said Naruto to the amber mare with a grayish mane and tail with a mark of a scroll tied with a blue ribbon. "Hello Naruto, what is it you want to talk about?" asked Mayor, smiling gently at the blonde stallion. He had built quite a good reputation among the residents of Ponyville. Well, I want to build a home, and here are the blueprints, and I hope these would cover the cost of the building materials and other things, said Naruto, bringing out the blueprints and some shards of crystals. Mayor was stunned at the sight of the crystals. Where did you get them, Naruto? These should cover the cost and still have money left over. I found them in a cave on my way here, and you can give the rest of the money to the orphanage, said Naruto. Okay, it should take at least 2 months to build, so you will have to wait until then, said Mayor, to which Naruto nodded before saying goodbye and heading to the library. When he reached the library, Naruto said goodbye to Ao. As he laid down to sleep, Naruto thought to himself, I feel something big is about to happen tomorrow, before falling asleep. Where am I? Thought Naruto as he looked around. He was walking on top of clouds in the sky on a starry night. I better take a look around. As he walked through the clouds, Naruto heard some pony crying and headed to the source. When he reached there, Naruto saw Pony sitting alone crying to herself. She is an alicorn with a coat of dark blue and brilliant blue mane and tail, with mark of a crescent moon, with a dark purple background on her flank and chest. So this is an alicorn, the combination of all 3 types, thought Naruto as he approached the mare. Hello there, why are you crying? The mare turned to look at the blonde stallion in surprise. Who are you and how did you get here? Asked the mare. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I don't know how I got here. By the way, what is your name? Said Naruto with a gentle smile, making the mare relax a little. My name is Luna, said the mare, smiling slightly. Upon hearing that, Naruto was surprised at meeting one of the royal princesses of Equestria. Dear Princess Luna, what are you doing here? Asked Naruto. Luna began to cry again. I am imprisoned here with no way of escape, said Luna amidst tears. Naruto immediately comforted her in order to stop her crying. Please stop crying, said Naruto, using his tail to wipe her tears, which felt soft to the touch, and calmed her down. Who is it that is keeping you prisoner here? That would be me, said a voice. Naruto turned to look at a plume of purple mist which slowly took the shape of an alicorn. It smiled evilly at Luna, who quivered in fear. I need her for power to fulfill my goals. I don't know what your goals are, but I am not letting you harm her, said Naruto, standing in front of Luna to protect her. It's beings like you that I detest the most. You fool. You dare stand in my way of conquest. It growled before launching a beam of magic at Naruto, who leapt into the air to avoid the attack, but was unprepared for the second attack, which slammed into him and sent him flying off the clouds to falling to the ground below. Naruto. Luna cried out for him. Naruto woke from his bed with a start. What kind of dream was that? It felt so real, like I actually met the princess, thought Naruto, wiping the sweat from his face with his tail. Naruto looked out the window to see that the sun had risen, signifying the day of the summer sun celebration has arrived. I'll think about it later. I'd better go to Mayor to see if she has any tasks for me to perform, he thought before putting on his headband and leaving the library. Along the way, Naruto met up with Ao and continued on to the mayor's office while greeting the residents along the way. Good morning, Mayor. I came to see if you have any job for me to do, said Naruto with a smile. Oh, good morning, Naruto. As a matter of fact, I do have a job for you. I just received a message from the royal castle that their representative will be coming to supervise, and I was hoping that you would serve as an escort for her through the town, said Mayor with a smile. Of course I will do it, I will get the job done, believe it, said Naruto with a foxy grin, to which Ao rolled her eyes at his verbal tick. Thank you, Naruto, you'll meet the mayor at the front of the library, said Mayor. Naruto nodded in affirmation before trotting towards the library. As he headed for the meeting place, Naruto saw a golden chariot being pulled by 2 Pegasus in armor flying in the air before landing in front of the library. He was about to approach when he felt some pony run past, sending him into a spin. When he recovered, he saw that it was Pinkie Pie who run past and is currently bombarding the guests with questions, and trotted to them while laughing to himself and Ao looking on in amusement. As he drew close, Pinkie Pie took off in a cloud of dust, which he knew was going to plan a party for the mayor, since he has been around her for a while now. He took a closer look and saw that it was Unicorn with a coat of purple and a dark blue with a violet streak mane and tail. She has a mark of a star pattern. The other is a purple lizard that stands on 2 feet with green spikes running from its head to the tail. Sorry about that, Pinkie Pie always gets excited when she meets a new pony since I was the recent. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, by the way, and this is my friend Ao the Blue Jay. I have been sent by the mayor to serve as your escort, said Naruto, while using his tail to point at Ao, who is sitting on his head. My name is Twilight Sparkle, and this is my assistant Spike. No worries, I just wasn't expecting that kind of reception. Mr. Uzumaki, is it? Could you direct me to the library? I have some urgent business there, said the mayor. Naruto frowned slightly at her attitude. This mayor reminds me of Sasuke with that high and mighty attitude. It's almost like she doesn't have any life experiences and is more on theory, and I'll need to find a way to tone her down a bit, thought Naruto. But Twilight, the princess told you need to go around the town to check on the preparations for the summer sun celebration, said Spike, to which Naruto was surprised to hear speak. Whoa, I didn't know you could talk, Naruto said with curiosity. All dragons can talk and I am still a baby, said Spike. Okay then, said Naruto, although smirking inwardly at the reaction a certain pony will have when she sees him. Alright then, let's get this over with. Where are we going to first? Asked Twilight with an annoyed look, to which the baby dragon pulled out a scroll and read through it. First on the list is catering, which is managed by the Apples family here, Ed. Okay, follow me, I know the way there, said Naruto, setting off with the two guests following behind. When they reached the farms and entered the apple orchard, they heard a thumping against a tree which Naruto is familiar with and so called out. Yo AJ. We got some guests here to see ya. Naruto shouted out. The thumping stopped and the orange mare appeared from behind a tree smiling. Hey Naruto, how is it going and who is this? Said Applejack to Naruto before turning to Twilight and Spike. Twilight stepped forward. Good afternoon, my name is Twilight Sparkle, she said right before Applejack grabbed her hoof for a rapid shake, although it resulted in the purple mare being shaken as well, much to Naruto's amusement. Well, howdy there, miss. Twilight, my name is Applejack. We apples just love to make friends, so it's a pleasure to meet ya, said Applejack smiling broadly. So what are you here for? After finally letting go of Twilight, she was trying to regain her sense of balance with Spike helping out a little. Well, I am here to supervise the preparations for the Summer Sun celebration, and I believe you are in charge of the food. Asked Twilight Sparkle, shaking her head to clear it. That's right, we are. Would you like to have a sample? Said Applejack while smiling. Well, as long as it doesn't take too long, said Twilight, although Naruto smiled inwardly, knowing what is going to happen next. Applejack immediately left them and began to ring the old triangle and calling out, "Soups on every pony." Soon Twilight and Spike were grabbed by the members of the Apple family and taken to a table which had an assortment of confectionaries made by them. Twilight tried to leave, but a combination of Apple Bloom's puppy eyes and the family's disappointment made her stay, which ended up with her being stuffed silly with a bulging stomach, with Naruto doing his best not to roll on the floor and laugh. After finally leaving the sweet apple acres, Twilight asked Spike what is next on the agenda, who looked through the scroll. Well, there is supposed to be a Pegasus who goes by the name Rainbow Dash, who is in charge of clearing the clouds from the sky, said Spike. Well, it doesn't look like she is doing a good job of it, said Twilight. Naruto's senses quickly alerted him of an incoming projectile heading their way. You might want to brace yourself for impact, said Naruto before grabbing Spike with his tail and jumping backwards. Twilight was about to ask what he meant when a blue blur crashed into her, sending her into a puddle of mud, to which Naruto sweat dropped since he was used to it. Oh, sorry about that, here, let me clean you up, said Rainbow Dash, looking at Twilight, who was covered in mud. Before she could say anything, Twilight was surrounded in a small rainbow tornado which Rainbow named the Rainbow Dry, that cleaned the mud but also left her with a large afro. I am sure she'll turn heads at the disco, making Naruto, Spike and Rainbow Dash herself roll on the floor laughing. I believe that you are Rainbow Dash, said Twilight Sparkle, trying not to blow her top. That's me. The one and only, you must know of me. Said Rainbow Dash with pride. Well, I know that you are supposed to keep the sky clear of clouds, said Twilight. Hey, I can clear those clouds in 10 seconds flat, said Rainbow Dash. Really? Then prove it, said Twilight skeptically. I wouldn't underestimate Dash if I were you, after all I know her the best, said Naruto with a grin. In fact, why don't you show her your speed, Dash? Upon hearing that, Rainbow immediately took off and pierced through the clouds, clearing all of them before landing on the ground. See what I told you? 10 seconds. Flat, said Rainbow Dash, grinning at Twilight stood there stunned. Ha 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 ha. The look on your face is priceless. Anyway, see you later, Dash, we will race next time, said Naruto laughing. The next stop was a town hall for the decorations. When they entered the hall, Spike was mesmerized. So beautiful, said Spike with a dazed look on his face. Yes, the decors are beautiful. With the decorations being perfectly arranged, I should be able to get to the library much sooner, said Twilight. But Spike shook his head in negative. Not the decor. Her. Said Spike, pointing at a white unicorn standing in the middle of the hall, using her magic to add some finishing touches. Naruto's eyes twitched in annoyance at Spike, who was ogling at Rarity along. He doesn't know why he was so irritated, but decided not ignore the feeling for now. Hey Rare, how is it going with the decorations? Naruto called out. Rarity turned to smile at Naruto. Oh, hello there, Naruto, it's good to my goodness, what happened to your hair? Said Rarity, quickly approaching Twilight. She was a victim of the Rainbow Dry a few minutes ago, said Naruto, trying not to laugh at the memory. It's alright, I will soon be out your hair after this, said Twilight, but was carried off by Rarity with her magic. Forget my hair, what about yours? We need to fix this fashion disaster, said Rarity, while Naruto is following close behind, again trying not to laugh. After having a makeover thanks to Rarity, the group headed to the last stop to supervise. The last thing on the agenda was music, which Naruto knew that Fluttershy was in charge of. As they drew close to her place, they heard the chirp of birds singing in a fanfare. Following the source of the music they saw Yellow Pegasus sitting on a hill coordinating a choir of birds. "Hello there," Twilight called out rather loudly. Behaved Naruto could warn her, which resulted in surprising the mayor and scaring the birds away. "Oh, I'm sorry about that, I didn't mean to frighten you and your birds. I just came to check on the music, which sounded beautiful," said Twilight, looking apologetic. Fluttershy had hidden behind Naruto and was peeking at her shyly. "Well, my name is Twilight Sparkle." "My name is Fluttershy," she said quietly. Twilight took a step closer. "Sorry, but could you repeat what you said?" "My name is Fluttershy," she said more quietly. "She said her name is Fluttershy," said Naruto, deciding to step in anyway. "Shy, the birds have returned," pointing to the tree with his tail the birds were sitting on. However, when Twilight turned to leave, Fluttershy saw Spike, which did a complete 180 change from her shyness to excitement. "A baby dragon." She cried out before tackling Spike and began bombarding Twilight with questions, to the amazement of Naruto. "I wonder if Hinata would act like this if she saw something that excites her," Naruto thought. By the time they finally reached the library, it was already dark out and Twilight was quite irritated. "I can't believe I had to waste my time with a bunch of crazy ponies when I should be studying on how to stop Nightmare Moon and convince the princess about her return," said Twilight, which caught Naruto's attention. "Wait a minute, did she just say Nightmare Moon will be returning? Looks like my feelings were spot on. I'll have to ask her about it later," thought Naruto before he heard a loud surprise. From when Twilight opened the door and turned on the lights, knowing that Pinkie Pie had set up the party here. Naruto entered to see Twilight surrounded by Applejack and the others who were talking to her, decided to hang around for a bit until he noticed her quickly climbing and chose to check up on her. He climbed up the stairs to see Twilight on the bed with a pillow covering her with a depressed atmosphere around her. "Hey, are you okay?" asked Naruto with concern, as he doesn't like it when ponies around him are sad. "I just wanted to get some research done because before I left Canterlot, I read an old prophecy that foretold of Nightmare Moon's return in 1,000 after being sealed in the moon, and that on the longest day of the year, the stars will later escape, which is today on the summer sun celebration," said Twilight. "Is there any way that we can defeat her?" asked Naruto, thinking of the dream he had last night. Well, the book also spoke of 6 elements of harmony, which comprises of kindness, laughter, generosity, honesty and loyalty, but no one knows what the 6th is, as it's a total mystery. It's written that they are located at the ancient castle of the Royal Pony Sisters, located in the Evertree Forest, said Twilight. "If that is the case, I will be there to help you out when you need it. Anyway, I'm heading downstairs to the party," said Naruto with a foxy grin, leaving Twilight with a stunned look on her face. At the crack of dawn, every pony had gathered in the town hall waiting for the festivities to begin. Naruto was standing beside Twilight with Pike sitting on her back, Applejack, Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash. Fluttershy was standing with the birds who began to sing, and Rarity was standing on top of the central balcony, ready to pull the curtains to reveal the appearance of Princess Celestia. Pinkie Pie was talking to Twilight about a lot of things, especially about when Naruto first came to Ponyville. Mayor Mare appeared at the podium and began to give her speech. "Fillies and gentlecolts, as mayor of Ponyville, it is my pleasure to announce the beginning of the summer sun celebration," to which every pony began to cheer except Twilight, whom Naruto noticed was looking worriedly through one of the windows at the moon. Following her gaze, Naruto looked at the moon and was surprised to see a cluster of stars crash into the moon, causing the silhouette of the mare to disappear from the surface. "That isn't good," thought Naruto. "And it is with great honor that I present to you the ruler of our land, the pony who gives us day and night, the good, the wise, the bringer of harmony to all of Equestria, Princess Celestia." When Rarity pulled on the rope, the curtains were drawn only to reveal nothing. "Scratch that, this is definitely not good," said Naruto, with Twilight nodding in agreement. The crowd soon began to whisper in worry, and Mayor Mare was trying to calm them down, although Pinkie Pie took it as a guessing game and that the princess was hiding. Naruto saw that a purple mist gathered at where the princess was supposed to appear and dissipated to reveal an alicorn in its place. She had a coat of pitch black and mane and tail which looks like field of stars in the night sky. She wears a lavender helmet and breastplate which shares the mark of a splotch of purple with a crescent moon on her flank. "Nightmare Moon," whispered Twilight, making Naruto tense, and Spike fainted. Gazing upon the group of ponies, the dark alicorn spoke in a dark tone. "Hello my beloved subjects, it has been so since I've seen your sun-loving faces. What did you do with our princess?" Rainbow Dash demanded, about to launch herself at Nightmare Moon if not for Applejack holding her back by the tail. "Why? Am I not royal enough for you? Don't you know who I am?" she said. Naruto was getting angry at the evil alicorn as she is beginning to frighten Fluttershy, reminding him of when Neji looked down on Hinata back at the Chunin exams. "Does my crown no longer count now that I have been imprisoned for 1,000 years? Did you not recall the legend? Did you not see the signs?" She spoke arrogantly. "I did," Twilight called out, "and I know who you are, you're the mare in the moon. Nightmare Moon." The ponies all gasped in shock. Well. Some pony remembers me, then you also know why I'm here. Nightmare Moon said to her. You're here too. Two. Twilight was afraid to finish the sentence. Remember this day, little ponies, for today is your last. From this moment forth, this night will last forever. Said Nightmare Moon, laughing out evilly as she released lightning and darkness around. This is the sand and sound invasion all over again, but no one is dying this time. Thought Naruto with a determined look. Mare yelled out, seize her. She is the only one who knows where the princess is. Immediately a group of Pegasus in golden armor belonging to the royal guard of Princess Celestia flew into the air and charged at Nightmare Moon. Stand back, you fools, yelled the dark Alicorn, her eyes glowed, and lightning was fired at the Pegasus, putting them out of commission. She began to laugh arrogantly, ha ha ha. Is that all you sun lovers? Nightmare Moon didn't finish the sentence when she received a haymaker punch by courtesy of Naruto Uzumaki in the jaw, drawing a bit of blood. I don't know about this plan of yours, but you are going to make a lot of ponies suffer because of your selfishness, so I am not going to let you do what you like, said Naruto, glaring at the evil Alicorn. You are an interesting pony, different from the others, said Nightmare Moon while getting up from the floor. However, you must know your place, which is underneath me. She then launched a bolt of lightning which slammed into Naruto, sending him flying into the air and crashing through the wall, where he fell to the ground and lost consciousness. Naruto! Shouted the mares, who went to check if he is okay. Well, Nightmare Moon once again laughed before turning into the purple mist and flying out of the town hall towards the Evertree Forest in the outskirts of town. Rainbow Dash saw Twilight Sparkle run towards the library and suspected that she knows what is going on, so she followed after her with the others close behind, while Rarity carries an unconscious Naruto with her magic. Twilight was using her magic to look through the books stacked in the shelves and discarding them when they do not contain the information that she is looking for. Elements. Arg. How can I stop Nightmare Moon without the elements of harmony? She said while frustrated. And just what are these elements of harmony? Rainbow Dash said, bursting into the room with the other mares right behind her, while Rarity laid Naruto onto the couch. And how did you know about Nightmare Moon? You are a spy, aren't you? Applejack grabbed Rainbow Dash by the tail with her mouth in order to hold her back. Simmer down, Sally. She ain't no spy, and I'm sure Naruto wouldn't want you reacting like this, she said. Rainbow Dash calmed down, but she was visibly upset at Naruto being hurt by Nightmare Moon. I'm sure that she knows what's going on, don't you, Twilight? Before I came here, I read about the prophecy about the return of Nightmare Moon, and that some mysterious artifacts called the elements of harmony that are the only things that can stop her. But I don't know what they look like, where to find or how to use them. Said Twilight while still looking through the remaining books until Pinkie Pie spoke up. The Elements of Harmony, a reference guide Pinkie read aloud from the other side of the library and was pushed away by Twilight when she ran over to confirm, much to her surprise, that it was there. Where did you find it, and so quickly? Asked Twilight, who was stunned that Pinkie Pie found the book much sooner than she did without any problem. It was under E. Said Pinkie, bouncing in excitement, which made Twilight feel embarrassed at missing something so obvious. Twilight opened the book and began to read out loud. There are known to be 6 of the elements of harmony, which are kindness, laughter, loyalty, honesty, generosity, but the 6th is unknown, and their last known location was in the ancient castle of the Royal Pony Sisters in the Evertree Forest. The Evertree Forest is to the south of Ponyville, and we are coming with you, said Applejack, surprising Twilight. Wait, every pony, I appreciate the gesture, but this is something I should do on my own, said Twilight, although the promise that Naruto made echoed in her mind. No can do, Sugar Cube. We ain't letting any friend of ours go into that place alone, so we'll be sticking with you like a caramel on an apple, said Applejack, while Pinkie Pie was jabbering about the possibilities of candy apples being in the forest. What about Naruto? Asked Fluttershy, who was watching over the blonde stallion who was still unconscious. Well, we can't take him with us, so he'll remain in the library so that he can recover, said Rarity. With that, the mares set off for the ancient castle to acquire the elements of harmony in order to defeat Nightmare Moon. When Naruto opened his eyes, he realized that he was back at the dreamscape where he met Luna and the Dark Being. If I am back here, then that means that Princess Luna is somewhere close by. I'd better hurry and find her to check if she's alright, thought Naruto, and galloped off in search of her. When Naruto found Luna, he was horrified to see that she was restrained with chains that seemed to emit dark aura, which prevents him from getting any closer to her. Princess Luna, what is happening to you? Asked Naruto, who was still trying to get closer to the mare, but to no avail. Naruto, is that you? These chains are slowly draining my magic and sense of will. I don't know how long I can resist until it takes control of me, said Princess Luna. It is visibly seen that she is struggling to keep herself in control. Damn, I can't help her here. The only to save her is to use the elements of harmony to purge Nightmare Moon from her body. Thought Naruto. Princess Luna, I need you to hold on for just a little longer while I help my friend find the elements of harmony in order to save you, and I promise you that I will definitely save you," said Naruto. When Luna looked into the blonde stallion's eyes and could see the firm resolution which gave her the hope she thought she lost years ago. "Okay, I'll try to resist for a little longer for you to get the element," said Luna. "Thank you, I am hoping that we would have a nice conservation under better conditions," said Naruto with a foxy grin, making Princess Luna blush. And don't worry, when Naruto Uzumaki makes a promise he always keeps it. After saying those words, Naruto faded from the dreamscape, leaving Luna to hope for his success. When Naruto woke up, he saw that he was in the library and the books were scattered about, except for one book that lay open on the table. Reading through it, he figured out where she was heading to. Knowing Twilight, she would be going to the ancient castle to find the elements of harmony, but will have to go through the Evertree forest, which is very dangerous especially at night, thought Naruto, who immediately dashed out of the library and jumped to the roof of the tallest building. Closing his eyes, Naruto channeled chakra to them before opening them to reveal that they were glowing. Naruto called this technique the Aura Kake, which allows him to see far distance as well as see the aura of any living being or magic artifact. Looking in the direction of the forest, Naruto picked up a trace of Twilight's aura, as well as that of 5 other ponies with her. It seems like Applejack and the others followed her to help, and this can't be coincidence, since there are 6 mares and 6 elements of harmony, but I better catch up before they go in too deep, thought Naruto before jumping off the roof. Landing on the floor, Naruto took a running position and channeled chakra to his hooves till they emitted wide aura. Ready, go. I couldn't resist using the Sentai Go Busters catchphrase and took off, leaving a small crater behind in his wake. Music start. Sonic Unleashed Ost, Jungle Joyride Day. Galloping through the Evertree forest, Naruto using his free running skills to the fullest to dart through the trees while evading any hostiles that come in his way. Then he reached a cliff where he jumped off and used the Terra Drift to descend on the cliff wall while swerving left and right to avoid the rocks jutting out. Continuing along the way, Naruto saw a manticore sleeping peacefully and knew that Fluttershy's kindness calmed it down and continued on his way. When he reached a river, Naruto saw a serpent admiring his reflection and noticed that one of part of his mustache had a familiar color. It must be Rare's tail, she must have cut it and given to him in order to cheer him up. She really is the most generous pony I've ever met, Naruto thought fondly before jumping over the river and moving along. As he drew close, a pack of timberwolves jumped into his path intending to attack him. "Get out of my way," shouted Naruto, running faster to create a white barrier and slammed into the wolves, sending them flying into the air. He kept on moving until he finally caught up with the mares who were standing at the end of a bridge. Music end. "Naruto, what are you doing here? I thought you were unconscious," asked Twilight, who was surprised to see him here. "Well, I have always been known to heal fast and I still intend to keep the promise I made," said Naruto. "Where's Dash? I don't see her here." "She's at the other end of the bridge tying the other end for us to cross," said Rarity, who looked a bit down, and Naruto knew why and thought of how to cheer her up after all this. After crossing the bridge, Rainbow Dash was surprised as well as happy to see Naruto. "Whoa Naruto, how did you get here so fast?" asked Rainbow Dash. "What would you expect from the fastest pony on land, Dash?" said Naruto, grinning, to which she smiled sheepishly. "Let's get moving, we are almost at the castle," said Twilight, but before she could take a step, a large purple mist materialized in front of them and grotesque forms of black ponies appeared. These must be the offshoots of Nightmare Moon's dark magic, thought Twilight. She was about to tell the others to retreat when Naruto stepped forward. "I'll take these guys on," said Naruto, who took a pouncing position. "But Naruto, this is different from when you were fighting the Timberwolves," said Applejack with a worried look. "That's because I didn't go all out on those wolves, but with these guys, I might have to get a little serious, and I'll explain everything to you when all this is over," said Naruto. "What do you mean?" Twilight began to ask but stopped when she saw Naruto release a wide aura from his body. "What is this? It feels like magic, but at the same time it doesn't," she thought as the other mares looked on in surprise. "Well, Pinkie Pie was excited. Naruto is glowing like a sun. This calls for a party when we get back." "This ain't no battle stance," Naruto called out as sea blue glaive appeared on his back, glowing brightly as if happy at being summoned after being so long dormant. Naruto turned to look at the dark ponies and grinned widely. "It's showtime." Then he dashed towards them. Music start. Naruto original soundtrack, Strong and Strike. Naruto began by forming a chakra arm to grab one of the dark ponies and flinging it into the air and raised his four-hoof Yakura no Dangan. A white rune appeared and released a wide orb which sped to the target and slammed into the pony, destroying it. He quickly flipped over the next target while channeling chakra to his tail Chikuratera Hoipu. It glowed white before stretching and wounding itself around the pony. Naruto proceeded to lift it and slam it into the dark pony coming in from his left and dashed towards them. Garibu make Yurijinai. and rammed them with a glaive covered with chakra at high speed, causing them to dissipate. "Who taught you guys how to fight?" Naruto taunted, making 3 of the dark ponies charge at him. Naruto knocked one back with a double kick and unleashed a 5-hit combo with his glaive on another. He then formed chakra claws at his front hooves and unleashed a flurry of slashes on the third, before finishing up with a cross slash, causing it to disappear. Naruto spun around and used a chakra tendril to grab the pony. "Get over here. I'll borrow a line from Scorpion," and pulled it in. Channeling chakra to his horn Chikura Hinsayoku. And rammed it into the pony's chest, making it fade away. Soon Naruto was surrounded by the remaining 4, but he didn't look worried. "Time for the climax," said Naruto as the Kasei no Ha glowed brightly. Kasei no Jichenji, Chakuramu. Then it faded to reveal a 3-pointed cyclone blade with curved edges on his back, Aquila from DMC. "Devil May Cry but a bit larger than normal, take this. Chakuramu Sakuran." Then he used a chakra tendril to throw the chakram, which flew in an orbit, striking all of the dark ponies, before returning to his back and reverting to the glaive. Naruto smirked. "Show's over. Music end." After making sure that there are no more enemies around with his aura Kake, Naruto was approached by the mares. "Naruto, you were so amazing when you fought those baddies," said Pinkie Pie while hugging the stallion. "Indeed, the way you fought was truly beautiful and artistic," said Rarity with a look of admiration. I am glad that you didn't get hurt," said Fluttershy, who was trying to hide her blush with her mane. "So that's how you fought the Timberwolves back then," said Applejack with a look of understanding. "Aha. I knew that you were holding back in our race, but I can't blame you, since I was also not going all out either. We'll have race soon, but this time we're going all out," said Rainbow Dash with a grin. "What kind of energy was that? I've never seen anything like it," said Twilight, who had a look of curiosity. Naruto smiled at the mares. "Like I said before, I'll explain everything after we defeat Nightmare Moon," he said, and got a nod from them and then led the way to the castle. When they got to the castle and entered inside, Naruto used his aura Kake and sensed different auras within the castle. "I sense the potent energy of the elements to the right, while I sense Nightmare Moon at the top of the castle," said Naruto after ending his technique. "So what do we do then, Naruto?" asked Rarity, feeling that he is suited for the leadership role. "I'll go face Nightmare Moon while you and the others go and get the element," said Naruto. The mares looked at him in surprise. "Naruto, I don't think I like this plan of yours. You could get killed fighting against her," said Applejack, with the others nodding in agreement. "Don't worry, I intend to stall her so as to give you time to find the elements and think of a way to use them," said Naruto, but they didn't look convinced. "How about this? After all this is over, I spend a whole day with each of you." "Okay then, since we know that you always keep your promises no matter what, then we'll go with your plan, just don't do anything stupid," said Rarity. "Sure thing, and Twilight, remember that you're not alone in this," said Naruto, leaving the mare deep in thought. Soon they went their separate ways, with the mares going through a door on the right and Naruto galloping up the stairs to the top of the castle. Reaching the top, Naruto came face to face with Nightmare Moon, who stood in the throne room. "Looks like this pony still hasn't learned his lesson," said Nightmare Moon with a look haughtiness, to which Naruto smirked at. "Well, that time I underestimated you, but this time I'm gonna buck you off your high horse," Naruto taunted, which worked as Nightmare Moon looked at him with anger in her eyes. "You will pay for your insolence with your life," she said, angrily releasing dark magic from her, but was stunned when she saw Naruto release a wide aura from his body. "Kasei no Ha. Battle stance," Naruto called out, summoning the glaive once before looking at Nightmare Moon. "It's showtime," and dashed towards her. Music start. Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 Ost, Boss Battle Meffles. Nightmare Moon fired bolts of lightning which Naruto darted left and right to avoid. He leapt at her and spun to use a Chikuritera Hoipu to attack, but she dodged by flying into the air. "Grovel before me, foolish pony," yelled the dark mare, releasing a shower of meteorites upon the ninja. Naruto quickly fired a barrage of chakra projectiles at the incoming meteorites, destroying all of them, much to the mare's surprise. Where did he get this power? It doesn't feel like magic, but something else, she thought, but quickly had to dodge when Naruto threw his chakram at her, barely clipping her mane. "Try to avoid this," Nightmare Moon shouted out, releasing another shower of meteorites, only that they are much bigger than the first one. Thinking quickly, Naruto formed 2 large chakra arms and began to pummel at the meteorites, breaking them into many pieces before forming 2 chakra tendrils to wrap around the last one. He swung it round before sending it back at the alicorn, landing a hit. Think of Spider-Man's hammer throw. Nightmare Moon got up and charged at Naruto with her horn glowing with a dark aura, and he responded in kind with his Shikura Hinsayoku, with both sides clashing and being knocked back by the ensuing explosion from the 2 energy. "You are an interesting pony, why don't you join me, and together we shall rule over Equestria," said Nightmare Moon, trying to tempt the ninja. "Thanks for the offer, but I'm happy with what I currently have," said Naruto while sticking his tongue at the mare. "How dare you refuse my offer?" shouted Nightmare Moon, who then released a beam of black magic at Naruto. Knowing that there is no way that he could this attack, Naruto called out to his glaive Kasei no Juchenji, Shirudo. The glaive glowed brightly and faded to reveal a red shield with the symbol of a white maelstrom. It is shaped like the Hylian shield. The shield immediately hovered in front of Naruto and deflected. Naruto smiled as he got an idea to use a technique and got ready to execute it. When the smoke cleared, Nightmare Moon to find the ninja only to see no trace of him. Then she heard a sound and looked up to see Naruto diving towards her with hoof that formed a chakra hand and was holding a spinning orb of energy. Rasengan. Naruto called out his attack before slamming into her and sent her crashing into a wall. What is Naruto without his Rasengan? I will not lose to a pony like you. Nightmare Moon yelled out, releasing the largest amount of magic that she has. Whoa, I don't think Luna has much time left, so I have to hurry. I guess I would have to use that, thought Naruto. He began to channel his chakra from within himself before raising his head to the sky and yelling out Chakiraba Tsutomoto. Immediately, his body seemed to explode with wide aura, creating a pillar of light that could be seen from a far distance. When it died down, it revealed Naruto to have changed physically. The color of his mane and tail had changed to white and had become longer and flowing in the wind. His eyes are glowing with a wide aura, and the shield had reverted to the glaive, but this time there were two that hovered in midair by his sides, like Sora's keyblades in final form, but in parallel. Now then, let's continue from where we left off, said Naruto, dashing towards Nightmare Moon. Nightmare Moon wasn't exactly having the night of her life, as she is constantly launching her attacks at the Enigma and only getting a few hits in, while he is laying the pressure on her with his. The evil Alicorn unleashed black orbs that surrounded Naruto to strike him down, but he spun with his two glaives Garibu Bofu, destroying all of them before they could make contact. Wait, could he be delaying me so as to let those mares get their hooves on the elements I won't let succeed? Thought Nightmare Moon before transforming into purple mist and flying off. Damn. She figured out the plan. I gotta get to the others fast. Thought Naruto before running after her. Music end. Meanwhile, Twilight and the others had found the elements and was focusing her magic on them, trying to find the spark needed to activate them. She continued trying to do so when Nightmare Mare busted and knocking them all back to the other side of the room. I won't let you use the elements against me. Shouted Nightmare Moon, launching a bolt of lightning at the orbs, shattering them into pieces. No. The elements of harmony. Twilight cried out. Ha 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 ha. With the elements destroyed, the night will last forever. Laughed Nightmare Moon. Twilight was about to fall into despair when the voice of Naruto rang inside her head. You are not alone, and she turned to look at the mares before standing and glared at Nightmare Moon with determination in her eyes. You think you have destroyed the elements of harmony? You are wrong, for the spirits of the elements are right here. What? Shouted Nightmare Moon with fear in her voice. Music start. Naruto Shippuden Ost, Downton. Applejack, who reassured me when I was in doubt, represents the spirit of honesty. Fluttershy, who tamed the manticore with her compassion, represents the spirit of kindness. Inky Pie, who banished fear by giggling in the face of danger, represents the spirit of laughter. Rarity, who calmed a sorrowful serpent with meaningful gift, represents the spirit of generosity. And Rainbow Dash, who could not abandon her friends for her own heart's desire, represents the spirit of loyalty. The broken shards began to glow and flew to their respective owners. The spirits of the 5 ponies got us through every challenge you threw at us. Nightmare Moon took a step back in fear, but still spoke up to hide it, but you still don't have the 6th element. The spark didn't work. But it did, said Twilight, a different kind spark. I felt it the very moment I realized how happy I was to hear you, to see you, how much I cared about you. Turning to look at her friends, the spark that ignited inside me when I realized that you all then looking at Nightmare Moon are my friends. The bright light shone above, drawing every pony's attention to see an orb which is revealed to be the 6th element of harmony as it descended and hovered above Twilight's head. You see, Nightmare Moon, when the elements are ignited by the spark that resides in us all, it creates the 6th element. The element of magic. The shards glowed brightly and transformed into golden necklaces with gems resembling their respective owner's cutie mark, and the orb transformed into a tiara with Twilight's cutie mark on it before settling on her head. Nightmare Moon tried to attack with a bolt of lightning, but it was deflected by a white projectile which was fired by Naruto, who landed front the mares, surprising them with his current appearance. You just who are you? She shouted. Naruto smirked and declared in a loud voice. I am Naruto Uzumaki, former ninja of the Hidden Leaf Village, former container of the 9-tailed fox. As he said those words, a glow appeared on his flank and faded to reveal the mark of a white vortex, and soon after the necklaces as well as Twilight's tiara glowed and specks of lights came out of them. They floated to Naruto and formed another necklace with a gem bearing the image of his newly acquired cutie mark. He heard a voice in his head and smiled before continuing. And I, who strive for love and salvation, represent the spirit of purity. Now it's time for the climax. Naruto levitated above the mares and held up his front hooves where a rune containing the colors of the elements of harmony. The magic of the element bearers gathered at the rune before Naruto took aim at Nightmare Moon and called out the attack. Take this. Hamanabura Sudo. Before firing a rainbow-colored beam at the alicorn who cried out in dismay. When Naruto landed on the ground, he reverted back to normal and chuckled Hesho's over before fainting along with the others. When he woke up, Naruto saw that the mares are waking up as well and turned to where Nightmare Moon was to see a familiar alicorn on the floor. Naruto quickly galloped over to check if she is alright. "Princess Luna, are you okay?" asked Naruto, nudging her awake. Naruto, said Luna before getting and hugging the blonde stallion much to his embarrassment. "I told you that I would definite save after all I promised," said Naruto, while blushing from the close contact with the princess, while the mares felt a bit jealous at the display. Suddenly a bright light appeared from one of the windows, every pony looked to see the sun finally rise on the sun, and the light changed its form to reveal a tall and slender white pony. She is an alicorn with a coat of pure white and mane and tail, with the colors of the rainbow different from rainbow dashes. She wears a golden collar with a purple gem embedded in it and a golden crown. She has a cutie mark of the sun on her flank. Realizing who she is, Naruto bowed down along with the other mares, while Twilight approached her happily. "Princess Celestia," said Twilight joyfully while hugging the alicorn. Naruto stood by Luna who looked happy as well as worried. "I believe that is Princess Celestia, your older sister?" Naruto asked Luna who nodded. "You shouldn't be worried about what happened back then because I'm sure she understands." "Princess Luna," said Celestia as she approached Luna. Luna hesitated but walked up to her sister after receiving encouragement from Naruto. "It has been 1,000 years since I have seen you like this, smiling gently. Time to put our differences behind us. We were meant to rule together, little sister. Will you accept my friendship?" Hearing this, Luna teared up and hugged Celestia. "I am so sorry. I missed you, big sister." Celestia also teared up as she embraced her sister. "I missed you too." Naruto smiled gently at the scene and thought of how it would be when he and Scootaloo become family. Celestia turned to Naruto and the mares. "I wish to thank you all for saving my sister, especially you," said Celestia looking at Naruto. "It's nothing really, I mean I promised to help her," said Naruto rubbing the back of his head before giving the white alicorn a foxy grin which she thought to be cute. "My, aren't you a modest pony, what is your name?" asked Princess Celestia. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki, and I am the new bearer of the element of purity," said Naruto. Celestia was surprised at hearing of a new element. "I think we should return to Ponyville to check on everything, then I'll tell you my story." With that, every pony was transported to Ponyville with Celestia's magic. Upon returning to Ponyville, many ponies of the town cheered at the return of Princess Celestia, as well as the revival of Princess Luna, as they rode in the golden chariot, followed by Naruto and the other mares. Naruto was feeling a bit uncomfortable since he had never received praise from a large number of people. Looking away from them, Naruto noticed that Twilight Sparkle had a sad look on her face as they walked to the town hall. "Twilight, why are you feeling so down?" said Naruto, drawing the attention of the others. "It's just that after finally making friends with you and the others, I would have to go back to Canterla," Twilight said sadly. Hearing that, Naruto became depressed as well since he enjoys having her around despite the short time they spent together. Looking at Applejack and the other mares, they were also feeling sad at the thought of being separated. Hearing what Twilight said, Celestia told Spike to take up a pen and paper to write. "I, Princess Celestia, hereby decree that my student Twilight Sparkle is to remain in Ponyville to learn about friendship with the element bearers, as well as study on the new element of harmony and send reports about her research," said Celestia smiling gently as Twilight hugged her in happiness. Naruto and the mares were happy at not having to be separated. Pinkie Pie was about to dash off before Naruto used his tail to grab her. "Now hold on there, party planner. Remember I said that I would tell you my story after the battle with Nightmare Moon," said Naruto, bringing their attention to him. "But before we leave, I will need Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo to come along. They should also hear of this as I don't like keeping secrets from those I care about." As soon as the fillies arrived, Princess Celestia used her magic to teleport them to the royal castle. The mares, especially Rarity, were excited to be there but calmed down since they wanted to learn more about their friend. After being led to the throne room, everyone turned to Naruto to begin his story. "So tell us about your life before coming to Ponyville," said Celestia with Luna standing next to her wanting to learn about the stallion who saved her. "Geez, I don't know where to begin," Naruto was saying when his glaive appeared in a flash of light. "Kasei no ha, but I didn't call you out." The glaive glowed brightly, forcing every pony to close their eyes. When they opened them, they were standing in a forest with a large tree at the center of it. "Where are we?" asked Rainbow Dash looking around. "This is my mindscape." Kasei no Ha thought it would be better that I show you my memories of my past life, so it drew all of you in, said Naruto, who stood at the bottom of the large tree. "You mean you had a past life before you came to Equestria?" said Rarity with a look of surprise. Yes, back then, I used to be a human in my world like this, said Naruto transforming into his human form, surprising the others. I read about creatures called humans in the books, there used to be some in Equestria, but they all disappeared without a trace, said Twilight. It would seem that they disappeared to other worlds, I was there when it happened, said Princess Celestia with Luna agreeing. Well, in my world I used to live in a land called the Elemental Nations, and there are villages called the 5 Shinobi villages where ninjas live, said Naruto. You mean those warriors who fight in the shadows, use smoke to hide, and all those cool stuff, said Pinkie Pie bouncing around excitedly much to Naruto's amusement. Yes, and I used to be one. I lived in the Hidden Leaf village, which is one of the 5 shinobi villages, said Naruto, as a large mirror appeared and displayed an image of a village. As the ponies looked closer, they saw the stone faces on the mountain was painted with, and that a younger Naruto was running away from 2 older humans, whilst carrying a can of paint, to which they all laughed. Naruto, what was that all about, asked Rainbow Dash while laughing with the others wondering the same thing. When I was still at the village before I became a ninja, I used to play pranks on the village to get attention, and even the high-ranked ninjas could never catch me, said Naruto with a smirk. But why strive for attention? I'm sure your parents were there to support, said Applejack. Hearing that, a look of sadness appeared on his face which gave the mares a bad feeling. Well, to tell you the truth, a demon fox had attacked the village, and my father, who was the village leader along with my mother, sacrificed their lives to seal it away in a newborn baby, which was me, and died believing that I would be treated as a hero, but the villagers believed that I was the reincarnation of the fox and mistreated me since then, said Naruto. Upon hearing that, the mares were shocked. Fluttershy, Pinkie Pie and the fillies began to cry, wondering why something like that should happen to a pony like him. So that's why you always support me, because you know the feeling of loneliness, thought Scootaloo. It's a surprise that you didn't fall to darkness like any pony would have. How come? Said Celestia, to which Naruto smiled gently. It's because I met people who saw me for who I am and not for what I contain. They also taught me that when I want to protect those precious to me, that's when you gain true strength, said Naruto, while looking the mares, especially Luna, who nodded in understanding. Afterward, Naruto showed them his memories from his first mission, the invasion, which frightened Fluttershy a bit when they watched him against a boy who was also a container like Naruto, the battle against Orochimaru until they reached his last memory. What happened here, Naruto? Asked Rarity, who was pointing at the image of Naruto facing off against his teammate. Back at the ninja exam, Sasuke had received a cursed seal from that snake which gave him power, but corrupted him as well, and with his desire to avenge his clan, it made him leave the village to join Orochimaru in order to gain more power, said Naruto. I believe you went after him in order to bring him back to the village, since he is your friend, as well as your teammate, said Twilight. Naruto nodded in response. I was assigned to a squad to bring him back, and we split up to face each of Orochimaru's elites, till I was the last one to catch up with Sasuke. I tried to reason with him, but he wouldn't listen, so we fought, said Naruto, as the memory of the battle was displayed. The battle escalated when he used the power of the cursed seal, forcing me to use the power of the 9-tailed fox to fight back, and in the end, we clashed with our best techniques with him killing me, but I knocked him out. Then how did you come to Equestria? Asked Luna, trying to hold back tears along with the mares who were sad at how things turned out for the blonde stallion. When I died, I met Kami-sama, who is the god of my world. She asked me what I wanted to do with the soul of the 9-tailed fox, which I requested to be sent back to its own world, as I found out that the fox was under someone's control when he attacked the village. That's also when Kasei no Ha appeared and chose me to be its wielder, and the fox unlocked my power as sign of apology before I was reborn in Equestria, said Naruto. But Naruto, don't you miss them back in your world? Asked Fluttershy worriedly. It's true that I miss them, however I have you all who are precious to me, and I will be with you forever, and that's a promise, said Naruto with a foxy grin, making the fillies run up to Naruto and hug him. The mares were also happy to hear that he cares about them very much. Is the power the fox gave you the one you used back at the Evertree Forest? Asked Twilight. Yes, it enables me to use my chakra to form anything as well as enhance my physical abilities. Also I can use magic, but I need to learn how. I'm sure you could teach me, said Naruto, to which she nodded. My Kasei no Ha is a special glaive that can transform into anything I wish during battle, and I am still training to master its power. Soon the glaive glowed brightly again, and they were back in the throne room and returned itself back to Naruto. So what will you do now, Naruto? Will you travel throughout the land? Asked Applejack with a hint of sadness that is mirrored by the other mares and fillies. Naruto shook his head in negative. No, I am rather happier staying in Ponyville with you all, as you are all precious to me. Besides, I promised to spend a day with each of you, said Naruto with a foxy grin, making the mares blush at the thought of spending time alone with the stallion. After giving Princess Celestia the elements of harmony, Naruto and the mares were transported back to Ponyville, not before he promised to visit every once in a while. Chapter end. Alright, that's it for today's video guys. Let me know in the comments section how was the story, and also don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I will meet you in another video. Peace out.